Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. That's an AI photo. Yes, you can hear me. Thank you so much, Snowdrop, for letting me know. So sorry I'm late. So I don't know if you all remember, but last week I mentioned it because I had started my live at 6 last week. One of my teachers for my programs is out for the next 3 weeks. So the class goes until 5. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. My class goes into he was sitting here just fine, and when I started talking, this is what happens. Otis. Okay, sit down, Mr. Otis. Sit down. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, sit down. Sit down. So the class is until 5:30, so I have to rush here after the class to get here. So that's why it's at 6. But I'm sometimes a little bit late, a little bit late. Um, so yeah, that's why the lives are at 6 because I'm studying for one of my teachers. Okay, now. Otis, you are something else. It's not until I start talking that you do this. You are fine while I'm sitting here setting up, doing what I got to do. As soon as I start talking, you get all like want to be all in front of the camera and stuff, and be up all up on me like that, don't you? Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. See. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Okay. So, well, we are going. Yes, he does need his own channel. Hi, Lizzie B. Thank you so much for being here and helping out. Oh my goodness. It's just I never ever have a moment. It's like go, 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 go. It's just like that's just how it is. But I don't think I'd like it any other way. So anyway, today we're going to be talking a little bit about uh, the new news around Harry and the Invictus Games. It looks like they want to get rid of him. And also, we saw William and Catherine. William and Catherine were out on an outing, weren't they? So, give me a second to pull everything up. And I am going to. No, Otis, don't do that. No, Otis, no, 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 no. Otis. Ah, here we go. All right. So, we're going to look at their message and also going to talk a little bit about Catherine's blonde hair. I mentioned it in one of my previous videos. We saw them going to Sunday service, and we could see that the hair was a little lighter. And we were thinking, yeah, it was a little bit lighter. Um, and now there's photos that are coming out where you can actually see her. It has been lightened, so we were right in our assumptions around her hair, which is yes. Okay, so let me share my screen with you all. Give me a second here. Okay, here we go. First, before I get started with today's live, if you could all just please make sure you hit the like button, it really helps with the algorithm. And if you could just do that, that would be lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else is going on? Also, if you I'll give you an update on Otis's ear infection. So yes, he had a very, very bad, nasty ear infection, and that was the day that I was supposed to speak with Taz. And so that got postponed, and she's on vacation now. So when she gets back from vacation is when we're going to do our meeting. Now it's going to be tricky because of the time difference. So I won't be able to include her on my live because it'd be pretty late her time, but I'll do it like a pre-recorded video, and then I'll be here for the live, but I'll be showing that that talk with her during the live. So that will be how I'll do the live with Taz. So sorry that had to be postponed, but yes, we had to take care of little Otis, and he is doing much much better. You wouldn't even know he had an ear infection now, so it's for him. He's good now, but it was really really bad. Okay, so let's. Oh, and also, if you are on Facebook, be sure to follow me on Facebook as I put out videos on my Facebook of my life with Otis. I just make little clips of my time with Otis. So if you are on Facebook, please be sure to join me there. And if you want to support my charity, Life Smart Education, Lizzie will put the link in the chat. Okay. And that would be greatly appreciated. As some of you may or may not know, I'm doing better, but we lost our funding for the rest of the year. I'm not going to get into the story about what happened because it will get me all in a huffy and a tussy and a tissy. Really upset, but as time goes, I'm getting better. It was just really very devastating and when it happened. So, okay. Says my phone is at 10%, but I don't think that matters. Let me just plug it in just in case. Because I don't want to lose my sound. 'Cause that could not be good. Okay. Great. I guess it. Okay, so I want to give a comment on Catherine. I must say, her hair is lightened, and it does look it looks beautiful. I think she can wear her hair lighter for sure. I think she looks as if she has a lot more hair. It looks very voluptuous. Um, maybe she's I don't know because she tends to wear her hair sometimes like in ponytails and she'll wear it back, but I think even the style of her hair looks a little bit different to me. It definitely has been lightened, and I think it's pretty. I think even for someone like Catherine, who can pretty much wear and do what she wants because she just has natural beauty all the way around. I think it has matured her. I think this might be a new chapter in her life. I think she's back from vacation, or it could have been while they were on vacation, where being in the sun can lighten your hair. I know that happens a lot of times too. Your hair can be lightened from being in the sun a lot, but at the same time, I also feel like it can also be a sign of renewing. Because I know for myself personally, when I had traumatic things happen in my life, the first thing I would do is change my hair, or if there was something, it could be good or bad. It could be just a way to mark a new time in your life, and you do something drastic to your hair. Now that's been me, and I've seen and heard that other people, that's what other people do too. So that could be it, or it could not be it. I don't know, but I just think it does look good on her, and she definitely has a very majestic, um, powerful look about her that, yeah, she could pretty much do anything and it will wear well on her. So she arrived at, we know William was with her as well, but showing off this new hairstyle. Yes. And I I just look at the clothes that they wear sometimes and I just think how nice it must be to wear such fine quality. I mean, we know that she even purchases clothes from places like Zara and stuff. Like she gets clothes that we can all too purchase, as regular folk, right? But sometimes the clothes, you can just tell how much more expensive sometimes their clothes are because they just wear it so well. But here is Catherine during Wimbledon at the men and women's final in July, where her hair was darker, and here it is lighter. So, yeah, I mean, I think it looks good on her. I think it looks good. And just look how, and here's the other thing. How can they how did she snap back into shape so quickly? I mean, really? I I don't know how people do it that have these babies and they snap right back into their pre-baby weight. I mean, Catherine, I remember when she was pregnant, she did gain a little bit, but not much. Like she just has got some genes about her DNA. Something is giving her the good quality on her abilities to just lose weight. So, okay, some of you, I'm sure I hear that. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit because I hear see some of what you're saying about her hair. Yes. Okay, so let me just go back because I do think it looks good on her. I think she does look better with darker hair, no doubt. But I think she can wear the lighter hair as well too. I don't think it's like doesn't look good on her. Uh, I don't know. Is that what you all think? You some of you were saying that you think, and maybe she did get maybe she has in some hair pieces because her hair may have thinned from cancer. That could be as well. Um, but it does seem a little bit more voluptuous. I mean, you look at her hair here, and then you go back to looking at it here, and maybe how it's styled or something. It just looks like there's like more hair, but we know she's got already a good amount on her already. But yeah, okay. But that's what I see. That's what I see. Um, okay. Hmm. Interesting. So they were at the Kate visited the museum alongside William as part of their ongoing return to public duties because we know they just got back from their vacation. And we know Catherine announced that her cancer is in remission. So yeah, looking really nice to see them together. And then they did get rained on, but then they were able to go back inside. So I mean, it's just really nice to see them back out and about doing what they do. We know that they are, as this article is mentioning, that they're planning to move to Forest Lodge to their 8 bedroom home at Windsor, home on the Windsor Castle estate. The Kensington Palace spokesperson has confirmed this. And we know that they're currently living at Adelaide Cottage in their 4 bedroom home. So, which is also situated at the Windsor Castle. Now, I know some people feel a certain kind of way that they're not going to be living in Windsor Castle. They want them as royalty to be living in a castle as the future monarch. And I think maybe William is just trying to make a new beginning. It's just going to be different. It's not going to be how it's always been for the royals. Okay. And I think living where you want to live with your family, your young family, I think that is perfectly okay. I don't have a problem with it, but some people I know do. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, so that is that story. Now, we're going to get into a few other things as well. We're going to talk about Harry. It looks like he is going to be getting kicked out of Invictus. I mean, this man cannot get anything right. His life is in a complete shambles, okay? Complete shambles. And I think that is to be expected because we know he has done a lot of things to warrant him losing any and everything that he will lose that really he only got because of his life within the royal family. Okay? Now there are talks that even can I say that? Well, yeah, maybe you have heard this that it might be William picking back up the Invictus Games. What? What? Say it ain't so. That's a rumor I heard. Not sure if it's true, but it would make sense if Harry is going to be kicked out because let's just look at the story around Harry being kicked out of the Invictus because I'm telling you, it would be the great checkmate for William to be able to come in and take it over and get it back to where it needs to be. Because ever since Harry and Meghan together as a married couple have been a part of the Invictus Games, it has gone to shambles. Okay. So, hey, I'm for it. If it's time to move Harry all along and to get him away from being as like the face of the Invictus Games, I think we feel like Yes, that is warranted. Get to stepping. Get to stepping, Harry. You've already lost Bali. You're not doing well with African parks, considering the things that are still going on there, right? Invictus Games is something that you've completely taken over to use as your PR charity to help you look good and to, give you something to perpetrate on, like the fraud, like royal couples that you are. You're not really attached to the Invictus Games the way you should be, in a way that's helpful for the veterans that are a part of the Invictus Games. We can see it, it's clear. So why not? Right? Yeah. So let's just look, see what we can see about this, because I think if this happens, you talk about somebody who has really met a demise of their character. Harry is the poster child for that. Hello, he is. Uh, yeah. So let's just look at what is being said about this. So he is. Oops. Let me stop the share here and share this one. Give me a second. Okay, close that off. Okay, so Harry faces calls to quit the Invictus Games. Okay, yes, we want that. Most definitely, we want that. Oops, 1 second here. Okay. Okay, so Harry is being called upon to step down from the Invictus Games. According to an insider, people want the Duke of Sussex to back away. Back away. Get to stepping. Go kick rocks. That's the translation I'm going to give you right there. Go kick rocks, Harry. We don't want you no more. Okay, so according to this insider, uh, he's being asked to leave his role with the international multi-sport event for wounded, injured, sick service members and veterans, which he founded. And we got to always keep it real. And we have to understand that Harry really didn't find or was not the founder of the Invictus Games. This was from the royal family. This was something that was set up by the royal family to help Harry. Okay, the royals were always a part of it. Okay, we understand that Harry is not the person who's the one that needs to get all the recognition for starting this. It was done for him, essentially, to give him purpose. But he lost his purpose once he met that woman. He lost purpose. So, according to an insider, Prince Harry is too what? What? Polarizing to continue being a part of the organization. You got that right. You're too polarizing, Harry. And part of it is Meghan, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. But it's key for Harry because this, if anything, should be the wake up call for you. Okay? This should definitely be the wake up call. So, Lizzie, thank you for posting this, Lizzie. So, Dan Wooten says he will never forgive this. Prince William reveals horror at Harry's plans for new Diana Netflix TV show. And here is the link, yes, to watch that. And I fully support that. Yes. Uh, of course he's going to do it. Of course Harry's going to do it because he has no choice. I mean, what else is he going to do to make money? And I'm almost certain, I can't say that this is what is happening, but when you are being asked to step away from something, usually it's because of the finances. And we've often talked about how Harry and Meghan, for that matter, would use the charity as a way to enrich themselves with by charging exorbitant amounts of money to the charity, which the donors pay for your travel expenses. You shouldn't be charging anything to the charity, especially if you are the multi-million dollar founder. Really, for real, side eye. You should just be getting a tax write off and paying for it yourself. But this, I'm almost certain, will come down to that. So, the Duke has become increasingly divisive, a divisive figure, particularly in the armed forces. And that is not good for Invictus. We're all about bringing people together and inspiring those who have suffered hardship. Now Invictus is firmly established. It might be better if the Duke took a step back. Okay? Step back. Go kick that pile of rocks over there, Harry, because we don't want you no more. So, although some are calling for Prince Harry to distance himself from the games, people who have taken part in the annual event have nothing but great things to say about the royal. How do you ever thank somebody for changing your life, changing your family's life? There are no words. Now, this is what Royal Air Force Sergeant Michelle Turner has said of Harry. Okay? He is so relatable and so lovely to everybody, and he loves this Invictus Games. Another participant, veteran Stephen Hooper, said, "If Harry hadn't started this, my life wouldn't have changed in such a positive way. But au contraire, mon frere, okay? It wasn't Harry that started the Invictus Games, okay? It was the royal family." So let's just really quickly give you an overview, because I did a video on this, okay? Who started the Invictus Games? The history of the Invictus Games. Give me a second here. The people behind the foundation. Okay, they're showing, goodness gracious. Give me one second, everybody. Okay, so for who started the Invictus Games in England? Okay, here we go. I am going to expand this. Let me just stop sharing this one and I'll share the other screen because I want you all to see this. Stop sharing this one. I'm going to share this one. Okay. So the Invictus Games. It was an initiative by the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry. They were all together doing all of this. So this was not just a Harry thing. And so, like I said before, it could be that William could now be stepping in to do some things with the Invictus Games. Now I can't confirm that, but I'm just saying, yeah, that would be a good move. It just would be. Okay. Although some are okay, that's I just read that part. So Prince Harry continues to face intense scrutiny after he was accused of bullying the chair of his Santa Bali charity, Dr. Sophie Chandauka. Now, question: if Harry is doing these things at Santa Bali, wouldn't it be reasonable to think that he's doing the same things with the Invictus Games? Because there has been this entitlement factor that has come into this this couple, Harry, along with Meghan, around these foundations. And I think the bullying and everything that was happening with Santa Bali has transferred over into the Invictus Games. And we saw how Meghan tried to make it about her during the Invictus Games. It was no longer about the veterans. Meghan, which Harry allowed her to do, let's just keep it real. Harry allowed her to come in and to have a hand in the Invictus Games. Suddenly we saw Meghan, giving speeches and being a part of the marches and marching off of the publicity of the Invictus Games. It became suddenly more about Meghan and her individual brand that she had been trying to start because we knew at the time she was already planning to do all of these things with Netflix and Spotify at the time. So, yes, this was not something that Meghan was going to do out of the kindness of her heart. Now, I do believe Harry would have had he not met that woman. But because that woman came into his life, he was tainted to take on the things that Megan persuaded him to do. And he went along with it. And so, for that reason alone, you need to lose it because you don't really have the good intentions to support the Invictus Games the way you did uh, before meeting Megan. So you've been tainted. You've come in and you've done something that has spoiled it for a lot of the people. So let's just keep looking at this. So, despite the allegations of being having to step down from Bali, an official investigation found no evidence of systematic bullying or harassment at Bali. Now, let me just push back on that, okay? Later, it came out that they didn't even look to the bullying for the investigation. So, of course, you're going to say there was no bullying found. Well, they didn't investigate bullying at the time of that. So, it will come out later, I believe, around the bullying in Bali. But that was something very misleading because, yeah, there was bullying. That was part of the reason why Dr. Sophie went on and gave an interview and spoke about it because of how they were trying to undermine Dr. Sophie, how they were doing things that were really egregious to the people of the organization, to the staff, to those that are helping to run it. They came in and did a lot of things that they were not allowed to do. Harry did not know his place. Nominating someone to come in and be a part of the board without having the board vote on it, you know, it got to his head. And Meghan, I believe, influenced it. So, unsurprisingly, the commission makes no findings of wrongdoing in relation to Bali's co-founder and former patron, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Harry's representative said in a statement, but that's not true. They also found no evidence of widespread bullying, harassment, and misogyny and misogynoir at the charity. And this as well was part of what they did not investigate. There were other things, like I just mentioned, around how Harry was doing things that he was not allowed to do. These were the things that were being investigated. Um, um, Despite all of the things that were all these accusations, the report falls troublingly short in many regards, primarily in the fact that the consequences of the current chair's actions will not be borne by her, but by the children who rely on Sidibali's support. So this is the spin of Harry's people, okay? That is not how we need to look at this from a point of view of somebody who we know knows what she's talking about because they're going to try to spin everything. So that was the spin of Harry and what he was doing. Let's look at another article that's not by Newsbreak. Let's look at let me see. I want to look at there was another one. No, I don't want that. Security. Let me stop this share. I'm going to find another one. 1 second. Okay, here's another one that we're going to look at. Okay, so there are some reports saying that he has also been ousted. Let me see what you all are saying because this was from this morning when I looked it up. I wonder if something else has changed since then. Let me just, okay. Um, Thank you, Carmela Divine, for your super sticker. Thank you. And Shania and Tanya 9194, thank you for your super sticker as well. Now, just for the members, because I see you are a member of my YouTube channel, the I do post about my travels, and I just posted a video. I got it out a little late. I apologize. We had some technical issues, but my video I started talking about my time in Germany. As some of you may or may not know, I went to Germany to see my son. He had surgery on his knee, and then we ended up making it a family vacation. And so I just started putting out the videos around my time in Germany. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, here we go. All righty. So it hasn't happened officially. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so here we have another one. Let me pull this one up, and then we can see this one. Okay. So, so Harry is urged to quit Invictus Games as insiders fear he's too divisive. And I think when you look at Harry being too divisive, all you have to look to is how he is being portrayed right now with his family. Now, we all know that there are reports that have come out about some of the demands that Harry is requesting before meeting with his father. I can't imagine that Meghan or Harry are trying to say that Meghan, one of the things that he's requesting, one is security, of course, but the other is that Meghan should be addressed as HRH. Are you serious? Like, I can't believe that that would be something that he would do, considering no one asked you to come and reconcile. Nobody said, Harry, come on over. Come, let's get together. Let's work all these problems out. No one has said a word to Harry. Okay, you're coming on your own accord to want to reconcile. And if you're the one coming and wanting to reconcile and coming with demands, you got a lot of nerve. You have a lot of nerve to request or to ask for reconciliation along with some of your demands. Like, for real, for real. I'm sorry. That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Like, you won't have a place to ask for anything. You're the one coming to us. Like, how is that? See, that if that is true, that gives you the depth of just pure stupidness from Harry. How in the world do you think you would be in a position to request anything and you're the one asking to be forgiven or to reconcile? Harry doesn't live in a real world. He lives in a fantasy world because he's been coddled his whole life. He just doesn't get it. He is completely klug about all of these things. So the Invictus Games, we know, is a sport, a men's sport. This thing, or not men's, but veterans sports charity, and it was actually copied off of the Warrior Games, which is here in America. And the Warrior Games in America, I think, well, yeah, it was something that Harry saw and that he wanted to do. He wanted to do something similar. And so he went to the Royal Foundation at the time, and they had, requested, he wanted to do something similar. And so the Royal Foundation supported him, and they created it under the umbrella of the Royal Foundation. And thus it was something a part of the royal family. But they said, okay, Harry, you can now be the figurehead. And Harry was like, oh, okay, okay. And he was the figurehead, but he's like, he didn't do no work. It wasn't like, let's just take, for example, I'm just a regular average person, okay? I'm nothing special. I wanted to start a charity. Do you understand the amount of work, the amount of commitment, the amount of financial obligations of trying to even get it started, what that was like for me as compared to someone like Harry, who had the tradition of the royal family behind him. He had the lawyers, he had the staff, he had the money. Like, for Harry to start the Invictus Games or to now be this figurehead, all it was is him, someone handing him the keys and saying, okay, we built the house. Here's the keys to the house, Harry. Here's the keys, take the keys. And they gave it to him, and that's how he became the founder of the Invictus Games. Like, how this is how he became the figurehead of the Invictus Games. Do you think he would have that much commitment and uh, gratitude and level of support that he would have to give to this organization that he didn't really have to put in the hard work for? No, not at all. And but when you have to be the person that starts something like this that is under the control. Now here's the difference. In America, I know how it's set up. It's you get the certification through the IRS, and it's something you do under the federal government. I don't know how it's done in England, but I can imagine that it's pretty similar with their like-minded organizations, giving the certification because of, the Charities Commission, I think, that investigated Bali. That was done by that organization. So I can imagine it's not an easy task. It's something that is pretty complicated to do. And so when you look at someone like Harry being, that figurehead of a charity that he really was just handed the keys to, do you think he has the level of commitment and ability to really run something like that under the guise of the rules and uh, standards that you have to run a charity? He doesn't have a clue because he wasn't there. And so I can completely imagine that from the things that were happening with Bali to the things that were happening with the Invictus Games were very similar because that's exactly what they do. Let's just look quickly at something that happened with Megan when she came to the Invictus Games. Because I'm sure we all remember this nonsense. This nonsense. Okay? Let me just let's just look at this, okay? Because this had me going. Okay, we all remember this, right? The audacity that this woman had the nerve to do. Okay? This right here. Hold on. Right here. Yeah, this right here. Megan's cringeworthy march with the veterans resurfaces amid servicemen alleging leaving the Invictus Games. This was a year ago. Okay? People were up in arms because of this woman. Okay? This is what I understand. This is what I do not understand. The nerve. The nerve. Why would you want to even do this? Why would you want to walk in front of these veterans who have sacrificed so much? Why are you walking in front of them? This is the level of entitlement that we're talking about because this picture right here says it all. And the fact that she was allowed to do this speaks volumes to the leadership. Now, when I say leadership, am I speaking specifically to those who are doing the work, or are we talking about the figurehead, Harry? Are we talking about him? Because I'm almost certain this was okay with him. But the fact that Meghan even wanted to do this speaks volumes to the level of delusion in this woman's head. Delusion. Okay. Let's just look at that. Several netizens criticized the resurfaced clip of Meghan marching with veterans at the Invictus Games in 2023. And yeah, I'm gonna hold my. I'm not gonna keep diverting. Squirrel, like I'm. I'm just okay. So she was there. However, she did not join. I guess it looks like the at St. Paul's Cathedral next week amid the claims that she was making the sports about event about her. Right? Yeah, because people were calling her out. Here she is leading in a march with the veterans at a parade during the Invictus Games in Germany. Um, Meghan turned the event into a complete joke. A joke. And look at her. Look at that smile on that woman's face. How in the world are you proud in this moment? I cannot understand. Like, I would be so ashamed. I mean, this woman has never done anything around being in the military, let alone being in a march. You see, what the level of what we're talking about goes really deep around what Megan is trying to do, continually trying to do around the Invictus Games. It's not about the veterans, because if it were, you would not want your non-marching butt up in front of these soldiers who have learned how to march when they were in the military. You haven't learned how to march. You weren't even in a marching band, as far as I know. So what the world you got doing in front of these veterans marching in a parade with people watching you? For real, Meghan Markle. Like, that is unbelievable to me. And and then looking at what and then you're in sandals, you're not even in closed toes shoes, you're not even wearing a proper attire, but you want to be front and center marching, marching, marching. Yeah, that's how bad it is. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what is happening behind the scenes with the things that we cannot see? We got a peek into what Dr. Sophie Shindalka showed us or told us for Sintabali. But this is complete absurdity, what this woman was doing. Completely. Um, okay, so yeah. I just wanted to show you all that, because that right there was just one of those things that got under my skin. Okay. Deborah, thank you so much for your chat. You're saying thanks for the free month membership. Anything good Harry's does will be sabotaged so she can be seen. My opinion. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing. This is a great point that you make, Deborah. When you talk about sabotaging, I believe we have already started to see the sabotaging of Harry by Meghan, by some of the things that we've seen posted. Um, for example, we have seen, and thank you, by the way, for your super chat, Deborah. We've already seen certain posts with these children on Instagram. And I think when you look to what Harry has said in the beginning around social media, or what Meghan and Harry, for that matter, have said around social media, why in the world would you want to put your children out there when you are so anti, or not anti, but you speak so critically around children in social media, but yet you're still putting your own children on social media? So when I say that Meghan is already doing things to sabotage Harry, I think the things that were put in the book Spare are definitely going to be used against Harry when the divorce does go down. Um, Meghan has definitely taken a lot of photos and compromising things of Harry. And the way you know she's done it is when she's put things up in the past on social media of Harry and the children, because she's always managed to put videos up of Harry doing things. She films things just because she's documenting everything in her life, and part of that I think is going to be used against Harry later, because that's what Meghan does. There were reports that came out when she was still within the royal family, how she had taken photos, and we've seen her do it when she was snooping away in the car. Um, Let me see if I can find that, because I think that gives some really good insight. And the only reason why I think it's relevant and very important to what's happening with Invictus is because we clearly have seen Meghan be a part of this whole Invictus um, games with the things that she has done. But um, seeing Meghan do other things with Harry in the open that we have seen, uh, we know that these are things that she's doing still now. Um, Let me just pull that right now so you can see that. because this, I think, is very telling about the intentions of Meghan and what she's always been doing from the very beginning. Can you hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me now. You can't hear me? Yes, you can hear me now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to show you guys this video, and I'm sure you've seen it before, but this is what I want you to understand. You have to understand, people, ladies and gentlemen, the things that Meghan has done in the past will give us insight into what we're going to find in the future. Yes, because we remember when this happened. Let's just take a look, shall we? Let's just take a look. We're going to take a look. Okay. This right here, when Meghan got busted, we're going to talk about when Meghan got busted. I hope you guys can see this. I know it's a little small. Maybe I should download it so you guys can see it a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can download it. Um, Actually, well, let's just watch it first. You see that? Do you see that Megan got caught going through William's car? Look at that. You got busted red handed. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You got busted trying to play it off. Okay? Oh, here we go. I'm going to make it bigger. Maybe this is bigger now for you guys. Look at that. See what she did? She got busted going in William's vehicle. So, that right there, let me just say something about that. That right there is insight into a woman that's up to what? No good. She is up to no good. And if she is up to no good when you're with her, you know she's certainly going to be up to no good when you're not with her. And she's going to throw you and your family under a bus because she's up to no good. That is what we are dealing with, people. If you have the nerve to creep through someone's car that is not your husband, you're being nosy. Oh yeah, you trying to do some things that are not so good. Okay, so that's uh okay, so let me just go to the rest of my article before um let me so we can finish this article because I did not finish it. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's share it. So that's the level of what we're talking about. We really have to understand what Meghan's intentions are, because I think it speaks volumes that Harry has lost or is going to be losing the Invictus Games. I think that's just what's getting ready to happen. So those involved in the foundation believe that Harry's brand is not what it once was. and is potentially too divisive to stay at the helm. One source told the Daily Mail that the Duke has become an increasingly divisive figure, particularly in the armed forces, and is not good for Invictus. We are all about bringing people together and inspiring those who have suffered hardship. Now Invictus is firmly established. It might be better if the Duke took a step back. Um, and they talk about what happened in Birmingham. They were being used for PR around the event. So far, folks focusing mainly on whether members of the royal family will attend, given their ongoing rift with Harry. And that's the thing. Think about, publicly announcing or saying that you've invited your family to attend the Invictus Games of 2027 in Birmingham speaks volumes of what Harry and Meghan were trying to do with that public announcement. You're trying to use it as a way to show what's going on in your family and trying to bring your family to respond to a very public event, asking them to join you. And it wasn't purely, let's just try to be nice and invite them. No, it was used as a PR move. It was used to try to get them to be a part of what you're trying to present on a world stage. Trying to get the royal family to confirm or not confirm whether or not you're going to be showing up to the Invictus Games in Birmingham. That is about your publicity and what you're trying to put on the world stage to help who? Yourself, not the men and women of the Invictus Games. You don't do that. And that's the problem with what Harry did, trying to make that something that was public. And the people who are part of the Invictus Games are thinking, why are you asking your family or inviting them to the Invictus Games? This is not about them. This is about us. And it's not just that event. It's like you see all these things happening and then you start to put it together like this is no longer what it used to be. This is more about Harry and what he is trying to accomplish on the world stage. And we're the pawns in this game. We're the ones being used. And so while there was this one veteran that had good things to say, I'm sure Harry was very nice to this veteran that spoke nicely about him, this woman and this man. Of course. But what you have to understand is the foundation, the underbelly of all of this that Harry is doing that the veterans don't see. There are things that Harry and Meghan are doing to enrich themselves. It's about their brand. We all remember when Meghan talked about, Archie asking, where's Papa? And Meghan's like, Papa is, the Invictus, Daddy loves Invictus. Like the whole dramatic scene she played out on Netflix around that Invictus Games part of the Netflix show, it just spoke to them yet again, using the Invictus Games to make it about them. And Daddy working so much because he loves Invictus. Yeah, you love it for what it can do for your image. But do you really love it for what it means to the men and women who are part of it? Some do believe that Harry should now step away from the charity he founded a decade ago. Harry himself has not made any suggestion that this is something he will do. Having attended the last Invictus Games competition in Canada earlier this year, we know Meghan also appeared to be just as involved in the games as ever. As ever. He also appeared to be close with competitors of the games, with many competitors in the past having praised the prince and the community he has helped make for them. Then they go into the quotes again. But here's what I want to say about what Harry has done with the Invictus Games that maybe you don't know about. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But do you know that the veterans have to pay for their own health insurance? Do you know that they have to pay for their own lodging? Do you know how much they have to pay to participate in these events? Yeah. There's a financial hardship that comes with even being a part of the Invictus Games. And if the people that are participating in the Invictus Games have to spend money to be a part of it, and the people that are the figureheads like Harry and Meghan, are using the money that has been coming in for their travel, for their appearances, for their lodging, for their clothing. Why in the world are they charging the Invictus Games for things that they themselves could easily pay for as millionaires? But yet, the people that are the participants of the Invictus Games have all of these upfront costs, who are just regular people that are not millionaires, people who have suffered tremendous hardships. Why are they being told that they have to pay for these things, but yet Harry and Meghan are having things paid for themselves? Like, this is what we're talking about. This is why Harry needs to step down, because they've used it to their advantage, because they just want to get freebies. They want to get publicity. They want to use it to make themselves look like they are good people, that they are doing good work. They're using it to help solidify their stance in society, as you know, these millionaires are helping those people. Like, they're doing these things and taking money off the top. Why is that okay? Do you think this was going on before Megan came along? I don't think so. I do not think so. So when you think about Harry being asked to step down, this is much bigger than what we probably even know. This is only what we can see from the things that have happened in the public, but it goes very deep. Just think about what happened in Sintabali to understand what's going on behind the scenes and what they're doing to take advantage of it. And I think if Harry does end up stepping down from the Invictus Games, I think that would be one of the major consequences of marrying Meghan, because that is, like, I think your only, I mean, he has the well child that he attends every year, but the Invictus Games was always something way more. And I think that would be, for him, a big blow to his ego. Thank you, Gwen Mendez, for your super sticker. Whoop whoop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it all is, I think, starting to come together. It's all starting to unravel around Harry and um, the consequences of marrying someone like Meghan. He's finally starting to pay the price, as he should. As he should. So, um, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is around Harry right now and Meghan. And I think Catherine and William will continue to do the good work that they're doing. And hopefully, William, as I said before, will be having something to do with the Invictus Games moving forward. That is the hope, that that will happen. Not confirmed, but it would make so much sense considering that William was a part of the foundation of the Invictus Games coming into existence. So he would have every right to move forward and be a part of it. And don't let anyone ever tell you that William is taking something over that once belonged to Harry. No, William was there from the very beginning and should be allowed to do anything around the Invictus Games. They were there. Yeah. All right, everyone. That is, I have another super chat. Thank you, Deborah. When will Harry has acknowledged those armed forces security who guarded him in Afghanistan for his vanity project? The soldier, my opinion, 10 soldier, my opinion. That is a good point, Deborah, and thank you very much for your super sticker. I think Harry would have a hard time acknowledging anybody. Right now at this point, because I think he is such a broken man that all he wants to do is see how he's been victimized, but not understanding that it's the woman you're sleeping with that is the problem, man. Harry is Meghan. She is the problem for you. right? That's what we need to tell him, Deborah. Like, duh. Do you not understand what is happening? I think Harry is in a position now where he could, I mean, if he doesn't speak to the king when he goes to the United Kingdom, if things don't go his way in terms of some kind of reconciliation and he ends up losing the Invictus Games, I'd be very concerned about Harry's mental health. I'm already concerned because, to my point that I forgot to mention, Meghan has used these children, and I know some of you talk about there are no children, they don't exist. I hear you, and I think that that warrants another deeper discussion, so that we can really get to the bottom of it. But there's a lot of people saying that the children don't even exist. There's a lot that's going on out there that we don't really have confirmed yet, that I think it takes a little bit more research on, but that's out there. But the fact that Meghan is now using these children on social media more and more, I mean, you think about everything that when has he had a win? When? When has he had a win? Okay. Thank you, Lizzie B, for your gifted membership. And thank you so much, Mystica Stevens, for your super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Thank you. Uh, if you think about it, though, when has he had a win? If your whole life has been nothing but failure, I mean, your everything since you married that woman has been nothing but failure. How well can you be doing mentally when you're already a drug user and you suffer from mental illness? I'm just saying, how well can you fare when your life just keeps crumbling and it's all because of that woman, Megan? She's the reason. So you gotta wonder. Harry. Thank you so much again, Lizzie B, for your membership. Thank you everyone for your super chats, your super stickers. I really appreciate it. Once again, I do these lives every Thursday, usually at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I am subbing for a teacher in my charity right now who is on vacation. So I will be doing these lives next week again at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then they'll be back, and then I'll be starting back up at 5. So please like this live. I really enjoy this once a week time that I have to just want, speak with you all and just kind of have some discussion around some of the news of the day, and to talk about what's been going on. And I feel like we are at the cusp of something really major happening. I don't know what it will be, but I can almost certainly tell you this with hand on heart, that I feel that something not good is going to happen. Um, for Harry. It's not going to be good. He is at um his life is so just it's crumbled essentially. And I can't imagine that anything good will come out of all the things that are happening for him. I think he is in a very emotionally vulnerable state right now because of everything that is happening with his family, with even the stuff Megan is doing. I mean, yeah, you're doing things that I know Harry is not happy about. You just are. You're looking like you're going to lose the Invictus Games. You've lost so much already. I think Harry, eh, I'm not sure how much more he can cope with. But that's just the price you pay when you marry someone like Megan. Like we all saw it. We didn't start talking about Megan and all the things that she's been doing like 2 months ago. We've been talking about this stuff for years. This stuff has been going on for a long time. The things we have seen, folks, and the things, guess what, we haven't seen. Harry has been behind with Megan. And I'm almost certain that Harry's going to be the one losing every time and behind those closed doors in Montecito. He's the one losing. He's on the losing end of the stick. He's certainly not winning. And he's not mature enough to handle the hardship because he grew up a spoiled prince. If Diana were still here, he'd still have some foundation. He'd still have some way about him, some perseverance through all the hardships and difficulties. But he has never really had to suffer much in his life. He suffered when his mother died, and now he's suffering marrying to this woman. These are the two instances. When has his life been filled with hardships, things that you've had to persevere that you did not get? He's pretty much gotten everything he's wanted. He's a prince. That's what I mean. His life has always been with a silver spoon in his mouth. So how much can he really deal with in the real world that he's now in? Because don't get it twisted, he's not living as a royal. He's living like the Superman that lost his power in episode 2, The Superman with Christopher Reeves, the best Superman movie of all time. I'm sorry, of all time. Okay? Think about it. He is that Superman, episode 2, with the 3 villains. You know what I'm talking about? I use that analogy in my videos sometimes. But that's how I see it. So ask yourself, how well can he be doing? Not too good. So remember, I said it here because something is not going to be good for Harry. Something is going to go amiss for him in a very big way. That's what I feel. I really do. I feel it. All right, everybody. I will see you all next week, 6 p.m. Eastern. And thank you so much for being here, for all of your support. And thank you for just showing up and giving me an opportunity to speak with you all about what's been going on. And for all your chats, your super stickers, and for your comments, and for your support. Remember, follow me on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, please be sure to follow me on Facebook. Okay? All right, everybody. I will see you all in my video tomorrow, and I'll see you here live next week. Okay? I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.